I warned you. Powerful. Thank you. Our next storyteller. When I met him, I was told he was a welder, and he could weld. That is that's not even a fair assessment. He can't weld, and he does weld, but he's so much more. He's an artist, and a friend, and an advisor, and now he's a bona fide, on-stage storyteller. I thought I knew a lot of people in this town. Tom met Craig, he knows all the people I know, and a few more. And they all say the same thing about him, that he's just a powerful force and a man that you want in your life, and I'm thankful he's in mine. Tonight, his story is going to, that's what I'm looking for. Eliminate the non-welding, non-artist part, the hippie part, the sojourner part, the traveler part, the free spirit part of Craig we get to see tonight. So please welcome to the stage, Craig Tirey.
Nobody's ever talked to me about me like that. Thank you. Thank you. Last summer, after a year of giving away and selling most of my material possessions, I packed my Harley, my tent, my sleeping bag, my yoga mat, my saddlebags for my tools, and some food and small essentials. I was about to set off on a trip of my lifetime. A trip that I'd wanted to do for years, but I made every excuse known to man to not go. Most of those excuses were behind all my fears. Headed towards the California coast. No real destinations, not many plans, other than wandering the West for the summer. The goal was to be alone, find a little bit more of who I am, shed a little bit of who I am, discover who I am. Along the way, I met many, many people. I guess that's the theme of this story and the theme of my life. One of those people is a little bit of the story I'm going to tell now. One day in August, I was headed south towards Bonneville, Utah. I was in Wyoming. No destination for the day. And as I was traveling down the road, something was off. I was unsettled. Just wasn't on the right path. So I stopped, turned around, headed back up the road I come from. Earlier, I'd passed a small dirt path that led to an overlook. I thought to myself, maybe I could stay there for the night. So as I get there, right down the dirt road, get to the overlook, I discover a tent and a bicycle there. So my first thought was, I can't stay here. There's somebody already here. So I turn around, go back down the dirt path. I have another thought. Maybe I can just camp a little bit of ways away from it, or whoever's there. So, park my bike. I get off and I walk past some trees and I come upon a man sitting on a rock. I introduce myself, we start talking. We must have chatted for a couple of hours. And we shared about our lives. And I found out his name's John. He's 70 years old. Been a truck driver all his life. He set out on a 3-month journey himself. Left Iowa 3 months prior with little more than a bicycle and a tent he bought at Walmart. He was on a discovery journey of his own. He'd lost over 30 pounds on this journey and still had all the clothes that he had replaced along the way. He didn't know what to do with them, didn't know how to let go. We chatted a while longer. The sunset approached. I asked him if I could stay there. He said, sure, if you can find a place. So I go back to the top and I set up my camp and we talk some more and we share. And I shared a Cliff Bar and some apples out of my saddlebag. So we have a meal together and just share. We continue to talk till well past dark. The next morning, as I'm packing up to leave, John tells me again something he had told me many times in our talks, that he didn't much like people, but he really enjoyed the time that I had shared with him. I left that time with John with a little bit more understanding of why I'm in this life, why I was on this trip, who I am. Brian touched on it a little bit. I know a lot of people. And I'm here to spend time with those people and share stories and communicate and see one another. I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes by Ram Dass. We're all just walking each other home. Thank you.